My name is Marcy Bernethy, and I am the author behind SaddleUpForSecondGrade.com. I was a classroom teacher for 9 years. I taught a mix of first and second grade. I also work part-time as an educational consultant for SDE, which stands for Staff Development for Educators, and that is how I got involved with ESGI. So I have always worked and taught in a very rural area. And so because of that, there hasn't been a lot of opportunity, I'm gonna say, for digital assessments, if that makes sense, just because there was never funding or anything like that. So a lot of the things that I was required to do, I was still having to do paper to pencil tasks. And it would take me, literally hours and days to get through some of the things that I was required to do. And so when I learned about this, I was just kind of immediately drawn to it because I felt like it could help me personally. And so once I kind of dove in and learned a little bit more about ESGI and what it could do, it cut my assessment time more than in half. It saved me so much time just collecting the data that I needed, and then I had all of my reports and everything that I needed to turn into my principal. I had it on hand already, and it was a huge lifesaver. And so then it just kind of became a teacher staple for me. I have a very big passion for teaching math. That's kind of like my thing. And so what I've really learned to discover over the past couple of years is that when it comes to assessing math and math standards with your kids, it's a lot different than when it comes to assessing reading skills, because there are no math levels to go off of like there is with reading. What I found with ESGI is that it helped me get the data that I needed for my kids, not only with ELA, but with math in general. And so then I could take that data that I got, and then I would use that data to help me organize my small groups. And then that helped me better my instruction, whether it be whole group, whether it was teaching in small groups, or, working with kids one-on-one, because I knew exactly what they needed to work on. And then I could take that data and I could share it with, in parent conferences, in RTI meetings. I could share it with my principal, and it, the data that ESGI gives you is very detailed. Whereas, doing all that stuff by hand would take forever. So I began creating assessments for ESGI about 2 years ago. And so what I did was I created specific second grade assessments that align with the Texas ELA and Math TEKS. There is an assessment for every single second grade math standard, and there's an assessment for every single ELA standard that goes along with the Texas TEKS. Now, and what I like to tell teachers is that, because I work with teachers that are, even from outside Texas. And so they can, even if you're not a Texas teacher, you can still go online and you can use the assessments that I've created, or, create your own, or find, someone else's assessments, and you can modify it to fit your needs if what I created didn't meet fair state standards. But yeah, so I created ready to go assessments for every single second grade standard. I think, especially because what has happened now in our current time, teachers, when they go back to the fall, they're going to get kids in their class who not only have that summer gap, which, they say in the 2 months, that kids are out, they lose quite a bit of what they've learned. So they're not only going to be dealing with that, but they're going to be dealing with 4 to 5 months worth of education that they did not receive from the previous grade level. So what I think ESGI and how it's going to be super beneficial when teachers go back into the classroom is that they can assess their kids one-on-one to see okay, what do they already know from their previous grade level? And then what are they going to need to hit more in order to not only catch them up from what they missed in their previous grade level, but to get them caught up and work on their current grade level as well.